So how does a kid selling trash bags door to door end up owning an NBA team and flying around in a private jet? I mean, seriously. Well, today we're going to break down the story of Mark Cuban. And you'll see it's not just about the money. It's really about a single idea, a philosophy that took a simple hustle and turned it into a full-blown billion-dollar empire.
Okay, so to really get Mark Cuban, you got to start right here, with this one powerful idea. For him, the goal was never just to get rich. No, it was about something way more valuable: owning his own time, controlling his own destiny. And this single principle, it became the engine behind pretty much every big move he ever made.
And yeah, you could say that philosophy paid off, big time. Today, his net worth is a staggering $4.6 billion. But to really understand how he got there, we've got to rewind. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. So here's the game plan. We're going to follow his journey step by step. We'll start with that first hustle, see how he made his first million, then dive into how he rode that wild dot-com wave. We'll cover the crash, the huge lesson he learned, and then wrap it all up with the 3 big rules that he lives by today. All right, let's get into it. Every superhero has an origin story, right? Well, Mark Cuban's doesn't start in some fancy boardroom. Nope, it starts in his neighborhood when he was a kid, with a simple want that ended up sparking this incredible entrepreneurial fire. So, picture it. Mark is 12 years old and all he wants is a new pair of sneakers. So he goes to his dad to ask for the money, right? And he finds him sitting there in the middle of a poker game with his buddies. Now, his dad doesn't just fork over the cash. Instead, he gives him something way more valuable: a lesson. He looks at him and says, "If you want a new pair of shoes, you need a job." And just then, almost like it was scripted, one of his dad's friends at the poker table chimes in with an offer that would literally change everything. So this friend offers him boxes of, get this, garbage bags to sell. And what does 12-year-old Mark do? Does he just sell them one by one? Nope. He goes door to door and pitches a subscription service. He's like, "Hey, you need trash bags, right? Just call me, I'll deliver them right to your door." He's buying them for $3, selling them for $6. Think about that. This isn't just a kid's hustle, it's his first real business. And he's already figured out recurring revenue. Okay, so that trash bag hustle, that was just the warm-up act. Let's fast forward a bit to his college years and his first real company. This is where he starts taking that core philosophy, that idea about time, and turns it into a serious strategy for making money. See, for Cuban, it was never ever just about stacking up cash. It was about buying his freedom. He just understood really deeply that time is the one thing you can't buy more of. You can never get it back. That idea, it was his North Star, and it's what led him to start his first big tech company, a consulting firm he called MicroSolutions. And guess what? It was a huge success. In 1990, when he was only 32 years old, he sold MicroSolutions for a cool $6 million. Bam! His first major payday. So let's look at where that $6 million went. He personally walked away with $2 million. But here's the really important part. He made sure his partners and his employees got a big slice of the pie too. And that wasn't just him being a nice guy, though maybe he is. It was smart. It built loyalty. It showed he knew that you don't build a successful company by yourself. He became a millionaire, sure, but he brought his team along with him. So what do you do when you suddenly become a millionaire? Go buy a Lamborghini? A huge mansion? Not Mark Cuban. He bought an unlimited, lifetime flight pass from American Airlines and just traveled the world, partied like a rock star. See, he wasn't buying luxury stuff. He was buying experiences. He was buying his freedom. He had a goal, and it wasn't to work forever. It was to live.
So at this point, he's a millionaire. He's got total freedom. But the next chapter? Man, this is what launched him into the stratosphere. He was about to catch the biggest, wildest technology wave of the 90s.
Okay, so it's 1995. Cuban and a buddy have this idea that sounds simple now but was revolutionary back then. What if we could listen to basketball games live over the internet? That little idea became a company called AudioNet, which later became Broadcast.com. They were basically inventing streaming media, and their timing, perfect. The growth was insane. They go public in '98, and suddenly Cuban's piece of the company is worth over $300 million. But wait, it gets crazier. Just 1 year later, right at the peak of the dot-com bubble, Yahoo comes calling. They buy Broadcast.com for billions. And just like that, Mark Cuban was officially a billionaire.
But as anyone who remembers the dot-com era can tell you, what goes up can come crashing down. Hard. Right after this massive, life-changing win, Cuban was about to learn his single biggest and most expensive lesson. I mean, he'd done it. He was a billionaire, the top of the mountain.
But that feeling didn't last long. Just 3 short months after the Yahoo deal closed, the music stopped. The whole market just collapsed. The infamous dot-com bubble burst, and all that investor hype for internet companies just vanished overnight.
You know, the dream back then was that tech stocks would just go up forever. But the reality? Greed is a powerful, dangerous thing. He admitted it himself. He got greedy. He held on to that Yahoo stock thinking it could only go up, and he watched as billions of his net worth just evaporated on paper. It was a brutal lesson, for sure, but an absolutely invaluable.
So a much smarter, much wiser Mark Cuban emerges from the wreckage of that crash. And now he starts to spend his money differently. Every major purchase he makes from here on out is tied directly back to that core philosophy, saving time, fueling his passions, and seizing opportunities. And he made 3 big, iconic purchases that really show you exactly what was going on in his head. A private jet, not for luxury, but to buy back time. A basketball team, the Dallas Mavericks, to feed his passion. And a mansion that he scooped up with some serious financial smarts. Each one of these tells a story about who he is. Okay, let's talk about the Mavericks. When he bought them, the team was a joke. The stadium was empty. So what does the new billionaire owner do? Fly in on a helicopter and give a speech? No, he literally drags a desk into the middle of the sales office and starts cold calling old season ticket holders himself. He's on the phone saying stuff like, "Hey, this ticket is cheaper than taking your family to McDonald's." He was personally closing sales. Can you imagine? See, that's his leadership style right there. It's all about action. He doesn't just sit in a skybox and tell people what to do. He rolls up his sleeves and shows them how it's done. That's called leading from the front. And it completely changed the entire culture of that team and turned them into winners. So after all this crazy journey, what's the secret sauce? What are the big takeaways? Well, Cuban has basically boiled down everything he's learned into 3 simple, fundamental rules for success. All right, here they are. Rule number 1, know your craft. Whatever it is you do, you have to be the best at it, period. Rule number 2, master the sale. You can have the greatest product in the world, but if you can't sell it, you've got nothing. And rule number 3, be a lifelong learner. Business changes constantly. The world changes constantly. If you stop learning, you're already losing. And that's it. His whole story, from selling trash bags to becoming a billionaire, is built on those 3 rules. It all started with that first one, finding something he was good at. So I'm going to leave you with that same question. His first rule, but for you. What is the one thing you do better than anyone else? Seriously, think about it. Because finding the answer to that, well, that could be the start of your own incredible journey.